Dark Gaia, a secret evil kept dormant that was released once by Eggman. Eggman wanted to achieve his goal of building Eggman Land in Sonic Unleashed, but in doing so, he unleashed this forbidden, uncontrollable evil. In its wake, it sought to divide the world by cracks of fire and darkness, only stopped by Light Gaia and Sonic. But what if it happened again? And this time, what if the result was something much more horrifying? Welcome to the Dark Gaia Infection AU, inspired by the metal virus in the IDW comics. This particular alternate universe is made by Abs with Abs, and it is incredible. From the art to the direction of the story, this is truly something nightmare-inducing, and I hope to explain what's currently available to us and dive deeper into this twisted reality. I'll leave a link to where you guys can find it, so go send some support to the creator. But without further ado, let's jump into the worst case scenario. The story begins 8 days after Gaia has been released once again by Eggman, and he's currently explaining what's going on. You know stuff is bad when even Eggman is regretting what he did? Like last time, there are beasts that roam the earth, but this time it's different. The beasts known as nightmares and deep nightmares are still here, but now there are infected nightmares. These particular demons carry a virus, and the infection is spreading. Eggman concludes that the virus is spread by scratches, and can also be caused by someone who has been infected. Now, it does take 48 hours before the virus can fully run its course, and there is a cure, kind of. Chip, or Light Gaia, has the ability to retract the disease with light energy. Tails was infected at one point, but luckily they were able to cure him. But you know who can't be infected? My boy Silver, though he isn't doing too great, but we'll get to that later. He seemingly can't be infected. After 48 hours of being scratched, he shows no signs of turning. Eggman doesn't know what causes his immunity. He speculates it's some sort of gene or the fact he's from the future. In the IDW comics, Silver is immune to the metal virus, so it's likely following that logic. In this story, it could be because of his psychic abilities, but the specific reason isn't yet known. Eggman goes on to explain the different phases of the infection. Stage 1 occurs when 48 hours have passed. Light Gaia is no longer able to reverse the disease. The scratch oozes with dark energy, and the moment you enter the stage, you can infect another. This is scary because it looks like you're still yourself, but it's hopeless. You're conscious of what's happening and what you're about to become. What's even scarier is all your friends are looking in horror and trying to stay away from you since they know what's gonna happen and they can be infected by you. In stage 2, this only worsens. Fur, quills, feathers, scales, or whatever it is, the patches of skin are revealed. Eggman says they're usually distressed by now, and I would be too if my skin was literally falling off. The third stage has the victim become agitated. Their bones break and the skin develops spots, almost like something is breaking its way out. Stage 4 has them become mutated, the process being explained as extremely painful. All sanity has been lost, and I gotta say, Eggman saying wouldn't want to be in their shoes is pretty funny. In the 5th and final stage, the mutation is complete. They are fully under Dark Gaia's control. It's said the mutated are more dangerous than the infected nightmare, as they can spread the virus. So you have to not get hit, otherwise you will join them. So far, the threat is very terrifying. Not only do you have to watch your friends get mutated into monsters, but you have to either kill them or let them spread the virus. So with this being said, let's take a look at the survivors we have in week 1. Sonic is first, and he's not looking too great. Though his stats are not terrible, he's traumatized, likely after the fact that Amy is dead, and he almost lost Tails. Each character has something in their inventory, and each character has stats like this one. There are quite a few characters to be featured, and not all of them can live, so I hope you don't have a favorite. After being attacked, Tails is low on strength and health, but surprisingly his sanity isn't too bad. Sure, he's stressed to all hell, but he's sane. Each character also has a quote, this one saying they need Eggman. This kind of tells the story aside from what goes on with the reports, and this is kind of how you'll learn the story when the animations aren't out. They need Eggman because of his intelligence. Knuckles appears to be missing, though he was last seen with Shadow traveling with Rouge to retrieve the Master Emerald. I have a bad feeling about these two, and while they're not dead, I think now there is a fate worse than that. Take Amy, for example. She's actually just gone, and I'm depressed. I actually love Amy as a character. In the last video I did, she had to deal with the loss of Sonic in the Dead Code AU, but here it's the other way around. She sacrificed herself for Cream, and she's a badass for doing that. But hey, Big is alive. For the one Big the Cat fan out there, you can rejoice. Of course he's worried about Froggy and is terrified. He's completely maxed out on stress, but given his random abilities to be at places he shouldn't, I think he will survive. Espio, holy hell, what did they do to you? This guy is not doing well. He amputated his limb before the infection could spread. Luckily, he has pain medication. I'm assuming this is right after that happened, and keep in mind, this is just the first week of the infection. It's not looking too great for him, but I believe in him. Silver is still around, of course, but holy hell is he beaten. You could tell he's completely determined regardless, and likely feels like he has a responsibility to fight this since he's the only one who can't be infected. I'm really rooting for Silver, and I hope he gets his time in the spotlight, as I don't get to see him in a lot of these kind of stories, so if someone get this guy some water though, goodness. Next report is Shadow, who is, wow, yeah, he's traumatized. He went into shock after not being able to save Omega, and if you notice, his inhibitor rings have been broken, which means these nightmares are damn powerful. If you think Shadow's traumatized, Infinite has it worse in my opinion. He's infected and has entered stage 2, and the nightmares weren't infected by Phantom Ruby's power. I know some Sonic fans would be upset by this, but keep in mind, this is a horror AU. The monsters have to pose a serious threat in order for the story to be good. And this is a beautiful way of showcasing that. Even with their strongest equipment and fighters, the feeling of hopelessness is prevalent. But there is still some hope. Blaze is alive and kicking, and she's actually quite confident. She only has one ring in hand, but she's still alive in week 1. Cream is also here after being saved by Amy and kept her headband. Vector has been infected, but is only in stage 1. Omega, how did this happen? It is very likely people would be swallowed up by the Earth after it broke apart, but wow. Though this is later explained on what actually happens, I just think that in week 1, it's a little interesting that it says he accidentally fell in. Chip is around again, and the only thing that's lacking for him is his strength. Eggman also seems to be doing fine, though his master plan, you could say, backfired, and he lost his death egg. There is quite a bit happening here, and as time goes on, it's only going to get worse. Next, we have a report from Tails in this awesome style. It's been 13 days since Eggman released Dark Gaia again, and the two heroes, Sonic and Tails, are out looking for Knuckles and Rouge. As we've seen on the other character report, they've been missing. According to Tails, when Dark Gaia awakened again, the Chaos Emeralds lost their power and every temple was destroyed inside the core of the planet when Sonic and Chip defeated Dark Gaia the first time. Their only chance is the Master Emerald, but for some reason, it had fallen. Tails is worried that something bad has happened, but hopes it's just because Knuckles and Rouge were able to retrieve it. Unfortunately, I don't think that's what happened. No. This isn't right. They would have been back by now. They've been gone too long. They should have come back. Sonic has been completely on edge since Amy passed, being paranoid to the point of not letting Tails go outside unless it's in the tornado. Although there is some good news. Infected nightmares can't infect people in the daytime. The sun chases off all Dark Gaia's minions except for infected nightmares. It's explained that infected nightmares lose Dark Gaia's energy when the sun rises. Though this may be good, the nightmares have to have a way to replenish their energy. This is how Amy died. That's very unsettling. You gotta think too. Cream was saved by Amy, which means that while she was able to get away, she likely saw what they were doing to her. Poor Cream is going to be traumatized for the rest of her life. Also, I'd like to say I really appreciate the Undertale inspiration. From the music to even the art style and mutated beings. That part could just be a coincidence, but I love that it takes the concept and sort of twist it. Instead of amalgamations, it's your favorite Sonic character. Let's check how everyone is doing. We are 6 weeks in, and things are bleak. Sonic has cut his quills down due to new quarantine laws. I like this because it kind of reminds me of Sonic CD. I don't like that his stress stat is almost maxed out, but after going through what he did, it kind of makes sense. He doesn't want to lose anybody else. Next we have Tails, and his stats say he's actually doing pretty good. Sonic has sheltered him from doing missions, and while he's upset by this, it's keeping him in pretty good condition. Though, I'm sure this will come back to bite Sonic later. Scrap metal is attached to the roof of Eggman's base, and he's, he's a robot. Silver is doing better than before. It seems his reckless nature has been calmed a bit as he defends Tails' lab with everyone in it. He's even got some rings. I'm just glad he's still kicking. Oh, and Jet the Hawk is here. Hell yeah! Though he's covered in road rash, he uses his J-board to travel and save survivors. Pretty cool. He's even got a Master Emerald shard, which is something everyone is collecting. While things seem positive here, Big is missing, and I can't say I'm surprised by this, though I do feel bad because he's likely very scared and doesn't understand the gravity of the situation. And while I do think he will manage to survive, I can also see a moment where people find him during Phase 2. Confused and scared, he will mutate, and it'll be really depressing. But hey, Espio has a robotic leg, and he's absolutely ready to kick some ass. He's got a katana, bandages, and Vector's chain with him. I like that the story is half being told by these character files, and half the animations and reports of the others. Espio is a character that isn't shown pretty much at all in these settings, from what I've seen, of course. And I'm glad he's a badass in this for now. Hey, speaking of badasses, Shadow. Shadow is found to be immune to the infection, which means he may still have it, it just can't infect him. Same thing with Silver. He has a goddamn arsenal now and is depressed as hell because he knows this isn't the life Maria wanted for him. He's grieving, but he's recovering from the shock and is slowly accepting his responsibility. Hang in there, Shadow. Luckily, we have Charmy B around to keep people company because of course he's perfectly fine. He doesn't know about the infected nightmares and was found by Jet, but I have to ask, why him and not Knuckles? Let it be known I hate Charmy B. No particular reason, I just think he's annoying. But on a better note, Cream is doing so much better. Jet found Cheese, and she was able to reunite with her Chow, and Sonic gave her a flower. How cute. Though, if I'm not mistaken, this particular flower is associated with death, even if it is pink. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that. I just want to know, is it symbolizing Amy, who was pink, or is it foreshadowing? God, I hope it's not foreshadowing. Cream seems so happy here. You know who's not? Vector. He's actually still in stage 1. And surprisingly, Eggman made a medication to slow the virus down, and considering he's in stage 1, it appears to be working. To help provide his medicine is, holy hell, what happened to Vanilla? She's an absolute unit for taking care of everyone, and even when she looks like this, she has zero stress. Mad respect to her. I really hope she keeps kicking. And if not, that's one more thing to traumatize Cream with. Someone who's doing just as hot, Blaze is trying to get into the Earth's core to Gaia Colossus. She's found 3 Master Emerald shards, and I like that the thirst is 1. Likely because she's been around fire that would disintegrate water. Chip is still around and kicking as well, healing everyone he's able to. Now, he's lost all of his strength, so I'm not sure how much longer he'll be able to do this. I imagine it's incredibly exhausting being the only one who can cure the infection, and you gotta wonder, at what point does this stop? The only other useful person to cure it is Eggman, but he's just been researching the virus, and so far he's only been able to slow it down and not cure it. He does have this neat hazmat suit, and stats wise he's thriving, because of course he is. We also get a look into the mutated, the stage 5 infected, and what they look like. Both Knuckles and Rouge are horrifying, both of them holding on to traits they previously had. Rouge can fly, and Knuckles is extremely strong and aggressive. Imagine how strong Knuckles is, and imagine it mutated. No thanks. The next animated report. This time it's told by Shadow. It's been 45 days since Gaia has been released, and Shadow is currently headed toward Eggman's lab because Eggman has found Rouge. Shadow saw Rouge and Knuckles going to retrieve it, and at the time he didn't know each Chaos Emerald lost its power. He suspects they were going to protect the Master Emerald before it was lost as well. After a few weeks, they were told to shorten their quills and fur. The Affectin are incredibly dangerous, and it's here we learn just how terrifying they can be. They can grab anything in a 35-yard radius in a span of a second, and by shortening their quills, it will make it harder for them to hit. Combined with their speed and power, this is actually terrifying. When the Earth broke apart, Shadow was with Omega, as we know, but the character file was wrong. Omega didn't fall in. A monster grabbed Omega and dragged him straight into the core right before Shadow's eyes. Shadow took off his limiter rings to defend himself and was able to defeat it, but couldn't save Omega. He proclaims they're strong, barely making it away from that creature. Bullets don't work on its armor, and your only hope is to hit its weak spots, which are the eyes placed around the body. Afterwards, Shadow found Cream, and as I suspected, she did watch Amy get eaten alive. So he took her to Tails' labs before she got hurt as well. Shadow also says that Sonic was in hysterics, but given the situation, he understands. Amy was dead, and at the time, Tails was unconscious. After people were infected and started mutating at different speeds, the situation only escalated. Now, you can amputate the wound, but for Vector, well, it was on his nose, and he kinda needs that. Then Shadow says something interesting. He claims Light Gaia is useless, saying how Light Gaia is weak and tired, like a mortal. He collapsed before he was able to heal Shadow, but it's here we learn Shadow is immune, though I have my suspicions. This was a sort of aggressive thing to say, and I understand the situation, but I don't know, guys. I'm a little suspicious. Shadow then goes on to be positive, saying at least he has Rouge. He's not sure why she's at the doctor's lab, but suspects it's to form a plan. Well, Rouge is technically here, but we know by now. What's become of them is this. Still recognizable as their friend, but unnerving. And while this is incredibly sad, the artist did an amazing job drawing out the designs. You can tell who the character is, and it maintains that level of horror that's just uncomfortable. Not only that, but the creator did a trend with the characters. I don't know if the music is copyrighted, but it's really well animated and an actually clever idea. Alright, we still have a bit more to go, along with something new to this universe that fans have been waiting for. Week 11 reports are out, and we see one of the most badass things ever, Sonic holding Amy's hammer. A few things to note about this. Sonic is stressed the hell out, and his blood type is weird. With the hammer, he's incredibly determined to protect his friends, but if you look closely enough, you'll see greed coursing through his veins. This also happens to be the bracelet Chip gave him to signify their friendship. I think there's definitely something going on here. It's either Sonic is infected but reacts to it a different way, or the bracelet is doing something to him. I suspect the infection won't affect him the same way. I think the werehog form is going to come back, but this time it may be a little different, but we'll come back to that. Tails is doing great stat-wise, but isn't happy he's being treated like a kid, and some tension between him and Sonic is growing because he's being kept inside of his lab, forced to study all the time. He's got 8 Master Emerald shards and 5 dead Chaos Emeralds to study. Next is Chip, who, if you look at his eyes, one is light blue and one is purple. He's physically weak and can't heal anymore. And while he struggles, Silver is thriving. Not stressed, his powers are becoming more enhanced. Aside from the giant cut he has on him, I'd say he's doing pretty good. Then again, Silver has been through an apocalyptic timeline before, so it's only natural he knows how to adapt pretty well. Blaze, on the other hand, well, she sees something that is startling her. She's still trying to get to the core, and she found something. Not sure if that's a good thing now, but how's Team Chaotix? Vector is in a medical-induced coma to fight the infection, so not dead, but could be better. And what about my boy Espio? Like the badass he is, he killed the infected nightmare that attacked him, but was killed by Infinite. You know what, Espio? You fought hard. Meanwhile, Charmy frickin' B gets to be alive. I hate you. Vanilla is striving still, being the mother of the group, taking care of everyone. At least we still have her, though I have a feeling that she won't be alive for much longer. But her daughter? She's so happy. Everyone is fighting for their life. Cream? She's decorating Tails' lab and trying to make everyone comfortable. She's sheltered, and god damn it, I hope she gets to stay happy through this. But we already know she suffered enough. And as for Big, well, he's still missing. Though Jet and his team are still looking for him. I do have a theory based off of, well, nothing. I speculate Blaze has found Big, just not in the way she wants to. Because it's either she saw Dark Gaia, or she found Big the Cat as a horrific abomination. Either one would make me shit my pants. Jet is pretty beaten up, but he's hanging in there somehow. He leads the rescue team, who have definitely seen better days. Wave had her arm torn off, and Storm is doing a good job protecting people. His stats are pretty good too. Shadow is determined to find a cure for Rouge, wanting to find some sort of answer. He's got a vial of her blood, and interestingly enough, his blood is contaminated. You could see a slash mark on his back. Like I said, I don't know if the virus can affect him, but the fact it's still in his blood is interesting. Scrap Metal is low-key terrifying, being Eggman's bodyguard. We even have Orbot. How useful. He does keep all infected and mutated people in their cells, which is, I guess, useful. Eggman himself is researching infected nightmares and the mutated. Perhaps he can come up with some kind of cure. While Tails, on the other hand, works on studying the Chaos Emeralds. We get a glimpse into what Infinite does as an ability. Yelling into his mask, he's able to get other infected to follow him. Alright, so that's what we have documented. But just recently, there was something released. A video that shows a scary version of Chip taunting Sonic. The other is a picture. Sonic is tangled up on strings like a puppet, but the camera slowly zooms in. His bracelet has been cracked as he hangs there. The word flame spread in the top right, and if you look closely, you could see a melted silhouette. This could be the end for Sonic. He has tears streaming down his face, and this is foreshadowing that he may have already been infected, hence why he had the green veins. I'm hoping this isn't the case, and I would really like to see him fight off this virus and become the werehog once more. At first, it could be a struggle, only for his friends to band together to convince him. Once they do, he turns into the werehog and becomes the strongest force against the darkness. Now, this is a horror story, so it doesn't have to have a happy ending. But this is just what I would personally love to see. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. I love the direction of the story, and the art is truly incredible. Even the animations and music choices are fitting. And no, I'm not just saying that because I'm biased to Undertale. I'll be following the story closely, and once we get more content, I'll update you guys. There is one more thing though. Use code Dunkachi in your cheeky order for 20% off. There's a sale going on right now for a short time, and they got some pretty cool stuff like Touch Grass. And I know some of you guys need to do that. Do it. It's the best soap you'll ever get. All right, subscribe, and remember, stay spooky.